This week on Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey, the Jenn Henry story.
Well, that went low.
See, what you didn't do is you didn't tell us how fast to say that. And so, yeah.
You both went with
that really is improv at its finest right there.
Beautiful.
It
We did
really
that
is.
so well.
We did. Because it's not the art of performing, it's the art of listening.
But the imperfections make it quaint. Do they not? I mean, they
think
make
so.
Yeah,
I think they
add
make
to the drama of it.
That's what it is, because we're unpolished and whatnot.
Yeah, we are very unpolished. Hey, listeners, if you haven't figured it out, our final guest of season 2 in 2025 is the one, the only Jenn Henry.
I am so stoked to be here, man. What a place of honor. I'm so flattered. I mean, what do you say? I'm wrapping up the season finale.
That's right.
Well, I hope you say a lot, because we got probably another 58 minutes to fill. So, you know, we count on our guests to actually have things to say, because we run out of stuff really quickly.
Poor Abby Getty. I hope she never tried to cut that down. I hope that she just took it for what it was, which was, it turned out just to be a conversation, which anything really is, just a conversation that ends up out in the wilds with people eavesdropping. But I believe that I may be on the hit list of more than one editor from, So
What? Please tell us more.
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
it?
We were going to say, hey, tell us about your origins and stuff, but now I'm like, Jenn, tell us about these people that want to kill you.
Yeah.
Because I got into the presentation space very, very unexpectedly when somebody said, hey, we have a little bit of a pickle. Is there anything that you can talk about for 40 minutes without notes? And I said, pull my string. You know what? I think the bigger question is typically, how do you shut her up? Make her stop.
See, and here's the thing, though. For those of you who have not been in a class with Jenn or met Jenn or anything, I took her workshop or one of her classes at One Voice, and I had been talking to her for you. I'm talking about you like you're not here, but I've been talking to you off and on throughout the conference, and then I think it was the last day I got into your class, and holy smokes, it was nugget bombs is what we kind of described it as. It was just you riffing and us going, let me write that down. Oh, let me write that down, and just mile a minute. And so yeah, Jenn is a what we call a pistol.
Is that what that's a word?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
It's what the people
you're such a
watching
pistol
call
there,
her
Jenn.
a pistol.
You're
such a firecracker. It's so funny that was such a cool, fun. I mean, I love being in that space, and it's not a space I ever anticipated myself being. Things just happen. I mean, anything that is successful in my world is the byproduct of awkward moments and happy accidents, or somebody going, oh shit, and then whatever happens afterwards usually vaults whomever, whatever, wherever, in a positive trajectory. And no two groups, no two enrichment spaces are ever exactly alike. As I said, when we had the oh shit moment of, oh, okay, we didn't read, we were going to do that thing. But the room always dictates which direction and which way things go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is in some respects, and I've been in workouts like that. I've been in situations where, you come in and you expect to do a little reading, to do some acting, and then you don't do nearly as much or any at all. We got in there with you, and we had 50 minutes with you. And it was, I think we introduced ourselves, but for the most part, we just listened to you talk about the industry and talk about the things that we need to know. And there wasn't a moment, I think, anybody in the class was
sighing,
not riding with you. I feel like we were all just like, wow, oh, that's hilarious, and just enjoying our time with you. So
We didn't even
I
do
didn't
our
have a
conga
problem
line.
with it at all.
Was
did-
supposed to be a
we-
conga line?
Did we do a
Yeah.
conga line?
I don't think so. No,
Where was
I don't
I?
think we did. No, we
don't think we
didn't.
did.
We didn't. It
No.
just everything just went, and then we were getting kicked out, and
Yeah.
and then
She had probably about 3 more hours of material, and then the guy popped his head in. Sorry, we have another class here. You're gonna need to wrap it up.
I love Patrick so much. He
Yeah.
is so sweet. He is so sweet. And he's always so gentle because he knows that he's gonna walk into me right in the middle of whatever it is because I have no concept of time and no orientation. Sometimes there's somebody in there that tries to keep me on track. And they're not set in there on purpose. They're just a diligent individual that's met me. So,
Mike,
Yes.
are you ready to pull that string? I think you have to run to the end of the block, but
I mean,
Yeah.
I want you to pull it.
All right.
pull the string, pull the
Get
pull the
ready,
pin.
Jen. You ready?
Yeah.
So, Jenn Henry, why don't you tell us how you got started and how you got into this VO thing? And go.
he pulled way back. It was 84 years ago, and I kind of got kicked out of radio, and realized that I didn't want to put my bottom line in anybody else's hands again, because as anybody who is recovering from radio knows, it can be a little squirrely. And I had a good run until I just didn't anymore. And our oldest son was just born, like just born. That's how cool radio can go. It's like had a baby, and then that was it.
Oh.
So we surprise.
Yeah. Congratulations. Get out.
Get out. Yeah, more or less. Things definitely went unfavorably. In the moment, seemingly unfavorably. But I really, as bumper sticker as it is, if even I'm just lying to myself, I do have to believe that when something goes shitways, that's just what it feels like in the moment. And there's got to be something on the other side of that scorched earth moments in our lives. Otherwise, it's complicated to keep moving forward towards things that seem like better ideas. So, fast forward about 15 months and another kid later, moved to Cape Cod. Who does that? Moving from Florida to Cape Cod. It's usually the backwards. And no, I don't know the Kennedys. No, I did. Yeah.
You saying that makes me think you do know the Kennedys.
No, it's funny that is one of the first things that people ask when you say you live on Cape Cod.
Oh.
I was
You say you
dead,
live in-
Chappaquiddick. No.
I've seen the place from the hill, but no, I've never met the Kennedys, and have lived here for 16 years now, and my kids were literal miracles. So I knew that I had my oldest when I was 38, and just shy of 40 when I had my youngest, and I wanted to ensure that I was home with them. And so after a career in radio and radio production, I did, what everybody with any sense does. You have 2 in diapers on WIC and food stamps. You start your voiceover career.
Smart.
Because that
Logical.
is a fantastic idea. That's an absolutely terrible idea. Happy accidents, awkward moments and happy accidents. And I guess I didn't know how completely unreasonable it was. At the time, I did have my certification in advanced medical coding. I have a very patchwork background. So, but I didn't open it up to the universe as something to fall back on. I just flew in face first without a net, and that, as you well know, is kind of the way I operate. It just occurred to me things don't change, and it's crazy how things that theoretically don't happen did. And I was taken into the fold of the community by people who just knew, obviously, since I knew nothing, they could have even known a little bit, but because I don't look at hierarchies and stuff like that, and I'm never afraid to sit down and talk to somebody or whatever the case may be, I was brought into the fold and protected, I guess, from a lot of things that I eventually understood what I needed to. I was kind of incubated in the sense that, and not in a nepotism kind of a way, but I do believe, for example, I didn't realize that just not being a dick was a commodity until I was probably 5 or 6 years into the industry.
Mm.
So
Funny.
in the sense that
There it is. I was wondering if he was going to pull that up.
yeah, there it is.
That's the official Jenn Henry coaster
That is
that I got. With her
official.
mantra, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. And I'm not a dick by nature, and I didn't realize how well that just works for you as a human being. Being just simply the act of being a human being that doesn't suck and just treats people decently, shows up on time, doesn't bitch, is fun to work with and relatively okay to be around, and you can have fun and also be professional. I didn't understand that everybody just wasn't like that. I didn't realize that wasn't a standard. So when I say I was quote unquote protected from things, there were just elements of the industry that I didn't understand. I didn't.
Are you saying?
Go, please.
Are you saying when you got in, right, and you had some background because you had radio, when you were insulated immediately, like while you were training, or did you go from I'm not a voice actor to I know these people, I am a voice actor, I'm getting paid for it?
I started on a contractor site that at the time was called Elance. I think it's had a number of different iterations, and maybe it's Zendesk or Upwork, or whatever it is.
Okay.
And my youngest did not sleep until he was 6,
Whoa.
5 or 6.
What?
So I would be up in the middle of the night with him, and he would sleep like 2 hours. He would sleep for one sleep cycle or whatever, and then he'd wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So I capitalized on that. So when overseas jobs were coming up on this contractor site, I could be first in.
Mm.
And it started with, $50, $75 incoming IVR messages and stuff like that. Thank you for calling. Please play. I was the explainer videos for $250, $300. I met clients that I still have today, but 10, 11 years ago on that site.
That's wild.
And we've grown together because they didn't know any better than to hire somebody that didn't know what the hell they were doing. And I was a good enough actor to pull it off. And something that in the course of that, I joined VO Peeps. I actually started on Voice 123 back in the old days. And
when is the old days? We don't have a timeline.
When is the old days? Yeah, easily a decade. And they had a really, really robust community, online community, which was headed by Stephen Lowell. It was the social media and community manager. And I got 2 months or whatever it was as a promo for business. I don't remember how I lucked into that, but then from there I won contests that were put on by Stephen Lowell within the community, and they were fun. It was robust, and I ended up winning. Ultimately, stacked together about a year and a half membership. This is when there was only one tier, and I learned how to work the algorithm to my advantage. I learned through that how to be selective on pay to play, and I really seeded my my base, my revenue stream, if you will, with Voice 123 and Elance. And I started attending workshops with VO Peeps and the amazing Anne Ganguza. Talk about day one people. I went to Eric Shepard and the Voxy Ladies. A Christmas Mixer was my first trip into the big city. I was like little mouse in the big city, the country mouse in the big city. And that was just an experience to beat the band. I came up with hand molded chocolates and cake pops, which I did not realize until everybody had a few drinks in them, looked not like cake pops.
They love
but
that.
People still ate them.
I realized kind of in that moment when it occurred to me that people who were remarking were absolutely right. That I thought it was hilarious, and it was okay that I thought it was hilarious because they too thought it was hilarious. And it's like, yep, I'm home. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's good. And I entered VO Peeps and Sovas cracking the voiceover code. And
What was this?
it was a competition put on by VO Peeps to the first event at Museum of the Moving Image in New York. And I got a call from Anne Ganguza on a Friday night telling me that I had won.
Wow.
So I won the scholarship to the event and the first Voice Arts Awards. And I walked through, it sounds so dramatic and cinematic and whatnot, but I walked through the doors of the Museum of the Moving Image in Queens to be met by Joan and Anne, and here's this magnificent place. And kind of existentially never walked back out that door.
Wow.
And you guys haven't kicked me out yet, so.
You guys as in us, the gatekeepers. Mitch and Mike, the
We are not
gatekeepers,
the gatekeepers.
of voiceover.
The gatekeepers.
We are not the gatekeepers.
If anything, what I noticed about your story early on was there are a lot of unsavory folks in voice acting. And when I got started, and now, it's hard for me to find someone who I don't think is really cool, who I think is a little too jaded for me. And either they're hiding somewhere or they're just in a different group. But
yeah, I know they exist, and I've probably met one or two.
Yeah,
but we talk about it all the time. This community is so welcoming and so different from a lot of other performing arts type communities. In that we all just kind of dig each other, which is cool.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I have yet to...
Because none of us are dicks.
Don't be a dick.
I'm a dick, I just hide it well.
And
You're an endearing dick.
That's good.
Right.
A cute one.
Oh,
my son
cute
just
little dick.
create the...
That sounds
Sorry.
right.
Yeah.
So
And I didn't even say that.
I did.
No.
No, typically that would like, no, wow, this far into it, Jen hasn't made a dick joke. The thing of it was, it was more from, because we know that there are unscrupulous people out there, but again, not in circles that are close to me. I mean, I know these fly-by-night people have existed. I've never had any encounters with them. I've never been in a session with anybody who was an asshole.
I think that's part of it.
You know, and that's a lot of it too. I have heard enough that just don't be a dick. Again, you know, be professional, be easy to work with, be a person, be people-y, and just having my human values substantiated and knowing that I didn't have to try hard to do stuff. I didn't have to play reindeer games. I didn't have to kiss any rings or hems. Just do the damn thing, and everything's cool. And later, the longer I was around, the more I realized that, and it's kind of a carryover from radio too, because when you work with, you know, people in the music industry and the people that surround them, when somebody is trying too hard to flex or to get somebody's attention, or the platitudes of look at me, there's an energy that comes off of that is not attractive. And I want to drive home so much, just everybody can just chill out. Everybody can just chill out. Meaningful conversations. We have the opportunity to go to events. Just be a human person. Don't try to suck up to anybody.
Yeah, it is hard at first because you see these people online, you haven't talked to them, but they're already like celebrities in your world right now. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'm following the same people on pretty much all of them. And I'll see like some people, I'm like, whoa, man, talking to them would be pretty crazy because I respect them so much. Present company included. It's like I see a VOA, I'm like, okay, if she talks to me, we're talking, but if she passes by, she's gonna keep going. And then you stopped and we chatted, which was super cool. But
I thought it was cool that you stopped to me too. That you stopped to talk to me too. You have to understand though, please, that the whole, if somebody gets my attention, I mean, who wouldn't stop and talk to somebody? I also dart. So if
bit
ever,
of a darter.
So I'm a darter. My sister, as a matter of, my sister loves to come to events and stuff because she's not a VO, yet she's still one of us, and she swears that she's quite tall. I'm not. She's threatens to put a balloon around my wrist so she can find me when we're at events and stuff like that.
Just put your ear to the ground.
The pitter patter of my hoofs.
Tiny feet.
Put you on one of those child leashes, where you got a backpack thing. And
my sister, we had one of those. Not we, but my mom had one of those for my sister when she was little.
Those are so cruel.
Well, I don't know. It's a little less cruel than your kid running into traffic.
That's cruel with merit, I guess. But to your point, I think I've figured it out, right? There are dicks out there, and there are even. I mean, I'm sure there were some at One Voice. I'm sure there were some at VOA. They're out there, and we all know. We see the online things where you've got the predators that are just, hey, come follow me, and you can make it in voiceover, and trying to prey on newcomers and everything. And so they exist out there, right? But I think a lot of us have that meter where we gravitate more towards the people who are the good people, the people who are genuine, and who, I mean, I know I was drawn towards you. I was drawn towards a lot of people at one voice that I hadn't met before, just from their aura, just from okay, this is a cool person that I need to talk to, because I'm just catching bits and pieces, or I see them, I see you floating through the room, and yeah, dart, there goes the balloon,
Just the head, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
just the head, Bob.
It's just the top of my head and the balloon.
The purple hair, there it goes.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and so if you're that kind of person, I think that the right people are drawn to the right people, and I think that's kind of been my key, where I have met a whole lot of good people in this industry, because I'm drawn to the good people.
And we just bounce around and sort of bump into each other. I could use some weird sciencey stupid thing, but I'm trying to reduce my nerdism just ever so slightly.
Oh, okay.
I'm very excited that I did just buy a T-shirt that is the periodic table, and it's color coded by "Can I Lick This?"
Oh, I love
I've
it.
seen
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
it's so
I've seen
good.
that one. Actually, I think I saw you post it on social media that you've
Oh,
gotten
okay,
that
yeah,
shirt.
maybe,
I'm
yeah,
guessing
that's probably where
mostly
I saw it.
no, but I haven't really checked
I was
it.
There's a lot of
I was
honestly, there's
surprised.
surprisingly a decent number of yeses.
There were more than I anticipated.
I need
when
a
I
can
really
I
looked at
sniff
it.
this, because I sniff everything for whatever reason.
Well, you can. I mean,
There's different, I guess.
if something isn't aerosolized, then probably
Give it a
you
snort.
could sniff. You could sniff
on
or
that, Mitch.
snort. Those are
Create
two
it.
different. You know,
Create that table.
you. Why don't you create a scratch and sniff
Scratch
T-shirt
and stiff periodic table.
Table.
Yeah. What is
That
palladium?
would go over well.
on a T-shirt?
That might be pretty expensive though too. I'm just
I'd
thinking
assume
some of those elements are not cheap.
Yeah, almost like they existed for 1 second of human time and are gone again. Yeah.
Oh, what would uranium smell like?
Death. I don't know.
Yeah,
Another world.
I don't know.
The Simpsons.
I
It would,
wonder.
It
Yeah,
would
right?
smell radioactive, whatever that
It would be
smells
green
like.
apple.
It
It
would
would be green
smell
apple like a Jolly Rancher.
It would smell like Chernobyl. How about that?
Chernobyl? What is that?
Yeah. What is
You're
Chernobyl?
saying Chernobyl.
Yeah. How do you pronounce
I
it?
don't know. You're saying it like a Dutchman.
Chernobyl. Seeing it like
Jen,
Russian.
how do you say it?
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
It's probably it's Ukraine. Chernobyl.
Oh, Ukraine, yes.
Yes, probably. It's actually probably a little closer to what Mike said.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe I'm
See?
wrong and I just say it like American.
No. Well, that's what it is. Is here we say Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Chernobyl.
Well, she
Wow.
has
Chernobyl.
she has a different
Damn
accent
it.
than me. I don't know about that one.
No, you know what? I'm from Florida originally,
Mm-hmm.
and
Flirty.
Florida. Apparently, my O gives me away. My southern O, like Chernobyl,
Chernobyl.
Mm-hmm.
and
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
so I have a southern O.
there you go.
I have more
Well,
questions,
yeah.
Jen.
Oh boy, Mitch got a
I
question.
have more questions before I forget this one, because I'm missing the part where it gets hard for you, because you said you made it sound kind of easy. Don't be a dick, right? You were
Oh
insulated.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
I start making money
my-
right away because I'm on these two websites.
No,
I don't have to learn how
no.
to act at all because I'm so good and I win all these contests. I want to be
Mitch
you.
likes the trouble.
Yeah.
No, because running in the background was 2 in diapers.
Yeah. But acting, there's no trouble there. Jenn Henry has this innate ability to act.
That doesn't mean that it's not hard to make money.
That's true. So you had this, where did this base of knowing, like, I can tell that you're an empath and also not afraid to be out there or do the more interesting thing or anything like that. So there's all that, but where do you get this base otherwise, unless this is just your genes?
I'm neurotic as shit.
Okay.
I didn't listen to any level of rationale that said this wasn't a realistic goal. I worked relentlessly. Real steep learning curve. The
The business or the
yeah.
acting or both?
the business of acting. If anybody could do this, wouldn't everybody?
I don't think so. Some
Ooh.
people, you know, they're like, I don't even know how to memorize lines. I'm like, yeah, that's not, you know.
Right, but the could. I mean, if it were just something that we're all putting in rainbows, that people mistakenly sometimes think that it is,
Yeah.
nobody would ever quit. Nobody would ever be frustrated. I mentally sold my gear every 6 months for about 5 years.
Okay, still going. I'm
Um,
still going.
but
I'm
yeah,
still doing
yeah,
it.
exactly. Um, I, for the longest time, and less now, I seem to walk on kind of a balance beam, especially when the kids were younger. Um, because again, they are only 15 months apart, and they're both, my youngest is autistic and my older one is spectrumy. And I mean, suffice to say, there's just so many acronyms in the house, and they didn't always gel. you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so everybody has unique circumstances, and I'm not sewn together terribly well. I'm a fucking dumpster fire, and that's now. I mean, I may have hit the ceiling of the thing, so I made plenty of stuff very complicated for myself as well. I have no business acumen, and it's very, very difficult to show up in the proverbial living room of this industry with nothing but a pocket full of Tootsie Rolls and a plate of cupcakes and expect that things are just going to happen. It doesn't work like that. So I made more challenges for myself by not having a really good business foundation and running things like a business. So, in the course of creating those challenges, I created stress. And because I am, again, neurotic, I am categorically the neurotic actor, through and through. And I no specific training to speak of as far as, there are people who I just stand in awe of who went to school and have degrees and all of these things. Wow. And somebody said, "You just did Meisner." I'm like, "I did. Sorry." You know, ugh. Um, that's not going to translate well in audio. But I was just, I don't even know. Like I don't know what Meisner. I don't know. I don't know Meisner. I don't know. I just by name. So
Yeah.
so if it was an accident, and I tried to make a hiccup, and I couldn't even do that effectively. What were you saying about me being this fantastic actor? Shit. Um, the concept that it's. I mean, sure, some people catch lightning in a bottle, but I certainly wasn't one of them. Like I said, I was up trying to catch bits and pieces of these gigs before the rest of the country was awake, because my child did not sleep.
That's just
So it was persistence and being pigheaded and trench. I mean, I'm a blue collar VO. I
Mm-hmm.
I am not without the sexy gigs and cool opportunities. At the same time, that's not what makes for the food and shelter consistently.
right.
So
So how did some of those sexy gigs come about? I mean, you've got your bread and butter, that you've created a base of a business, but there are those projects that maybe they don't pay as well as some, but they look super cool on an IMDb page.
yeah, they do.
What? So tell us about some of those and kind of how they came about.
Some of them actually were seeded in pay to play. Uh, a number of game devs that I met early in their careers that I'm still with, we met on Voice 123. The I had the opportunity to work with directors, again, happy accidents. I responded to a gig on Voice 123 and ended up doing the ADR for a short film that was highly awarded in circuit and ultimately went on to be a feature called The Shade. And they talk about taking risks. The only risk is, it's so cliche to say the risk that you don't take is the actual risk. And obviously I don't book everything that I take a risk on. But if you go with your gut, sometimes land or don't land, you did your job today. And that's all we can ever ask of ourselves, I think. In this one particular thing, booking off slates that didn't have instructions, to always follow your slate instructions. If there was not an instruction and I was moved to do something, then I would, and I've booked off slate before because it was unexpected.
That's fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had so many coaches and people tell me that these casting directors hear people do it the same way over and over, and so it's the interesting ones. It's the ones that are slightly different are the ones that catch their ear. So
absolutely.
So that's where don't play it safe comes into play. Sometimes you got to be a little off the wall.
And the simple fact that we are all unique individuals. If every single individual who submitted audio for consideration did so in some iteration of themselves rather than what they believe something should sound like, wouldn't casting directors get to hear a lot more variation?
Yeah, I think especially early on for actors, me included, it was like, okay, be you, right?
I know, what even is that?
You learn to be you, okay?
Yeah.
Whatever that is, your coaches hopefully get that out of you, and then you be you. And then you get into that, recording of your audition, and you're like, but that doesn't sound right. That sounds like me. That doesn't sound like a commercial. So you go back. So you go back to being, and then you listen to the commercial that you auditioned for, and you go, yeah, they wanted commercial guy, but they didn't hire commercial guy at first. They hired the person who made them think a little bit. So it's this weird disconnect from the two versions. And yeah.
It definitely can be. And the thing is, no matter how many times it seems like you tell, especially newer talent, that what gets you into the booth is not necessarily going to be what goes on air. Casting directors, agencies, they know what they're listening for. They know what, no, let me rephrase that. They don't necessarily know what they want, but what catches them is what catches them. And that's not necessarily prescribed. I don't believe in the concept of throwing away specs or completely ignoring specs. However, understand that specs are subjective. And
especially when they give you 10 adjectives and half of them interfere with the other half.
I have yet to book a job where I'm completely on spec.
Well, the thing is what is being completely on spec? No two people can be exactly on spec. Or there is no one iteration of being on spec. Because the two of you fit the bill for the same specs.
And yet we sound completely different.
Completely different.
Wow. Nice.
Okay.
There we go.
Right? So, and here's a fun thing that, and Mike, we did this in the group, you may remember, in terms of, if I give you the sentence Crazy Town Banana Pants, and I give Mitch Crazy Town Banana Pants, and say the specs are just simply happy to see the person And so, Mike, you say to me, we're meeting for the first time. You're happy to see, we're meeting for the first time in a while. You're happy to see me. And
Hey, Crazy Town Banana Pants.
Mitch,
Oh my God. Crazy Down Banana Pants?
two entirely different stories.
Mitch booked that one, by the way.
But
I played it too safe.
He was safe. He's a safe guy.
Safe.
No, you don't
He's a
know that
catch.
though.
No.
Oh, and that leads to another point. What the hell do you know?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Mitch booked that one. Really? What story was being told? Because right now, all the two of you know is
The specs.
you were both met spec in age, gender, and happy to see the person with one line of gibberish. You don't know what story is going to resonate with the person that wrote it. You don't know what is going to, and it's also not your job to know what somebody else wants or what somebody else is looking for. So your job is to do exactly what you each just did. You're both males with a similar timbre, similar age bracket. You were given the same sentence. Well, your voice print is of similar
It is.
Yeah.
age bracket. Catch me at 10 o'clock in the morning at an event, the day after an event. And
You're a 50-year-old white guy?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I am. It's kind of a running joke, that I sound like a vacuum cleaner, and my voice is deeper than most of the guys I'm eating breakfast with. So it's all relative, and it's all the beauty of being a creative entity is embracing the lack of objective insight when it comes to being in your space. Now, there is a lot of objective insight for great ways to run a business. Everybody is different. The same thing is not going to land for one person as it does another. There is no one single way, no one single blueprint or playbook, or otherwise there would only be one. I mean, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
So we work with the business coaches that we gravitate toward and things that make sense to us, and we move forward with that. When it comes to being in your creative space, you have to own that shit, man. Nothing can get in there beyond what you permit. And you claim it. Because the way we make money and the way we want to make money, the way we want to make a living. Excuse me. I'm Meisner. That's what I was trying. I think like badly landing a dumb joke
We
way
were all
too
leaning
late.
forward on that nugget that was coming in.
Well, there you go.
Oh.
Is
My
burping
work here-
Meisner now?
No,
Okay.
my work here is done.
Okay.
Excuse me. I didn't know it was coming, or I would have hit the.
You didn't hear it.
Sometimes
For
they
the-
surprise you.
Yeah.
They always do. My life is just so many surprises. Wait.
There was something. It's coming. Do you have it?
Bring it back. What's the last thing you said? Why? Why is the last thing I said?
Oh, I can't remember.
Well,
Mitch, you're the young one.
Yeah.
I
Figure
wasn't
it
really
out.
listening. I wasn't really listening to.
Well, you were leading us to, you were talking about the coaches you take and everything like that, and then you were talking
Yes.
about
And then I burped and I
and
forgot
then
what I was
being in
doing.
the booth
And
and
that's
bringing
your
it all.
space.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's your space that you. It's imperative that you claim it, and everything in there you bring with you, because we're in there to play, man. We really
Yeah.
are, and it's an imagination that never left us. That's kind of why we all continue to occupy the same spaces, because we're still that kid and we've been crammed into adult spaces. But the world takes away our Cheerios and makes us put on pants. And throughout the course, we move very often farther and farther and farther away from our imaginations. So, as adult creatives that have not necessarily followed the creative path throughout the course of our lives, it's that grappling to remember, I believe, that it's okay just to turn around and see that our imagination never left us. It's there. We might have some stuff that we got to move the hell out of the way to readily access it.
Yeah.
That empathic, being an empathic performer, we all are. Because we all still have that space to go and to play. And I don't know, maybe I'm just a little crazier than the guy next to me sometimes. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, and I think that's where, I mean, I know you talk about this being, the booth being our space and getting in here and just, obviously a lot of us suffer from the getting in your head and when I overthink things, and then I really am not making this my space. I'm trying to make this the space of the person who wrote the copy and wrote the specs and is trying to get it out of me, and I'm trying to figure out what they're, what's going to book, what's going to set, instead of just coming in here and having fun with it, even if it's the most serious piece of copy or narration that I have. It's still fun to read it, and that's where I get locked up, when I'm too busy trying to figure out what the right sound is, than just doing the thing, and because, to your point, I feel so much better when I come in and I'm loose, and I'm I read the specs and I get an idea of what they want, but I don't think too much and I just go. I feel so much better about those reads than when I'm sitting here fighting with my brain on what I think it's supposed to be, and then it's not as fun.
No, it's not as fun, and it's grinding, and it can be kind of tormenting.
Yep.
And I would love to tell you that I never do that anymore.
Well, I don't think there's a person listening that would say they never do that anymore, no matter how seasoned they are.
I think that there probably are.
Yeah, but that's what they tell you.
Well, I don't know. I believe that there are people who are under the impression that I don't. And so it's really important for me to say, yeah, I have days that that I just can't drop in. Where things just seize up. And those days, either I step back, walk away, or I just slap on my cans and I use music. Music is a phenomenal bypass to the shit-flinging monkey that we have in our brain. And that it just needs to be satisfied. Like having a toddler in our head that just wants and wants and needs and has the attention, and it jacks up our executive function. At the same time, without that monkey, we also would not be who we are. So we just need to satiate the monkey as well as we can, so we can move past without it, winging poo at us.
Having a good dance before read is nice. Or
a good dance,
good rock
singing.
Out, yeah.
And singing, and I'm not a vocal anything coach, health person. Personally, I know that sometimes if I sing, it feels like I knock gunk off. So whether that's psychological and existentially freeing myself, or there's some validity to that, it's whatever helps us change our headspace.
Yeah, everyone's got their thing, and there's a lot of people who that might be singing, might be dancing, might be stretching, might be vocal exercises, might be.
What's your thing, Mike?
Meditating. My thing is just wiping my brain of all of the daily crap and just getting in here and just kind of shaking it out and be like, boom, all right, this is what I'm doing now. And again,
so all you need is a little rattle.
All I need is a little head rattle. Yeah.
Okay.
And for some of us, it's I'm recording.
Yeah.
Shut
up.
Shut up.
Put the dog outside, for crying out loud.
Not to dispel the benefits of all of those other things. Realistically, sometimes that's exactly how we end up going into the booth.
Yeah.
And then we sing, it's like, shut the dog up.
Everyone's so noisy in this house. Okay.
I can tell I'm in the headspace.
Hi, I'd like to sell you. Yeah.
I can tell I'm in the headspace within a few given days if I'm petting my cats more, if I'm noticing their presence. Because there's a time when I start to get tightened up and I get all in here, and it's I must stretch my voice. I must now get into the booth and do the voice thing. I need to answer my emails, but when I chill out for a second and actually notice that there's cats in front of me, or actually notice the art on my walls, I think is when I finally realize I'm open enough to be an actor. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, that kind of falls in that meditative state where you're just you're taking your brain off the things that stress you out.
Yeah.
And clearing it and then coming to the booth.
Yeah.
The whole thing about being an actor also is just, I think.
Okay.
You.
So that's the secret to being successful in voiceover. That's wild. Actually, I don't think we've ever had anyone tell us that on the podcast before.
It was really amazing, and I'm so glad you said that, Jen, because I've never looked at things that way before. So
no way.
This is really just going to change my perspective in the booth, and I think it's really going to be a catalyst to my success. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And
for
the
that,
listeners, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm bowled over by the sharingness and how receptive you have been to these pearls, pearls of couscous.
Perfect. Hey.
If you didn't get what happened there, then sad to be you.
Yeah. Mike, tell them what happened.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah,
we'll
we
tell the truth.
had a little technical difficulty. I guess Jen has ice on her lines, and her internet said no, thank you. And
please stop.
Ice on her. That sounds like a euphemism for something.
Got a bit of ice on my lines.
And just no. But
everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Had a little technical
now.
difficulties, but Jen is back and everything's fine. She's had a hot toddy, and we're ready to go now.
Thank goodness.
But just to kind of wrap things up, and then we'll get to playing, because I can see Mitch itching already because he wants to act.
There's some ointment for that, I hear.
Yeah, right.
They keep telling me that.
Put a salve on it.
Tell me about your ink. Tell me about your ink.
This?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I had one of these, but it was done poorly, so I got it turned into one of these.
One of those.
And I like nature a lot, so anything
And
anything to do with nature is good.
If you're listening and not watching, Mitch showing us his
yes, I have a peace
his
sign
neck
tattoo
muscles
over
and
here,
and his traps.
And
where
thank
his tattoos are.
Yeah.
But anyway,
there's so
enough
much
about
you
Mitch's
so much you could have done with that, because for people listening, not watching. That's okay.
For those not listening,
fix it.
Mitch is
so just cut. Nipples.
Mitch is showing us his bleached anus,
and you can just cut. You can just cut in bleached anus and nipples randomly.
Yeah, we'll do all kinds of editing on this.
All kinds of cut in. There was.
First of all, Jen, I personally, I don't know if our listeners do, but I love it when the podcast goes off the rails. So appreciate you contributing to that.
I live for off the rails. I mean,
right?
If this had been any sort of a, something that held decorum for its entirety,
Who likes serious interviews? We don't.
You wouldn't have known who showed up. I don't know.
Okay, cue the 5-minute reel of nipples and bleached assholes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna cut in
I have a
some
4.5
stock footage of all of that. I don't know. Do they have stock footage?
No, I got a bunch on my computer. It's no big deal.
They
I'm sure you do.
I mean,
Anyway, Jenn
I have
Henry.
a 4.5 foot stuffed giraffe in my living room. So I mean, you're not talking to somebody who, where serious reigns supreme in the world. Find joy.
So you look up to that giraffe, do you?
I do. Every day.
Okay.
See what I did
Every
there?
day.
Okay, all right.
That's where I park my balloon. It was a
Well, oh, nice.
my sister
Little
sent me that for Halloween.
This is actually a ghost whose nipples are middle
Is it?
fingers.
Right.
Yeah,
there
I
we
was
go.
gonna say those aren't nipples, Mitch.
Nope.
But Jenn, thanks. I mean, just really enjoyed talking to you. Really enjoyed having you on. It's about stinking time, and hopefully you now are a friend of the show and will want to come on every other week because we'd love to have you. But if
I'd
we
love
could
to play.
ask,
You guys are fantastic.
if we could ask, well, thank you. I'll take that compliment and I'll store it away in my pocket.
I'll start
here, and
blushing
I'll take it
again.
out later when I feel bad about
Did
myself.
everyone
blush
hear the
very-
Michael Keaton comment?
I don't know. You blush very easily. Talk about things that I'm going to stow away in my pocket for use at a later time.
I do.
Yes,
You
Mitch
blush-
is very cherubic today.
Yes, he blushes
got
very,
those-
very
got those
easily.
cheeks,
So
yeah,
I'm
just
going to
shiny and
exploit
red.
that. And you're kidding me that nobody has ever told you that you favor a young Michael Keaton.
Haven't. It's a new one. I'll take it.
That
yeah.
just it really
Could be
surprises
worse.
me.
Could favor a young, I don't know,
Nick Cage.
Jack Klugman.
Jack,
I don't know. I'm trying to
Wow.
think. Yeah,
you
Edward
peeled that
G.
off
Robinson.
of a you
Taking like
peeled
old
that off
actors
a
and throwing them out there.
dicky
But anyway,
recess.
Jen.
Yes, dear.
If I could ask one more question, and then we'll get to plan.
Okay.
So, you've had quite a ride here so far. You've. I mean, obviously, if you have a chance, people go out there, look up Jenn Henry on the IMDb. You've done some anime, right? You've done some other animation and stuff. Am I off the wall saying there? Video games.
Mostly video games, and
Okay.
I did. I don't know if it's on the IMDb. Really cool thing with Xbox for with. Oh my gosh, I have to put his name in front of me, otherwise it is
Find
just
it.
disappeared. Damn it!
Find this name.
Find the name. We'll pause.
I just go through
Pause.
the
You
alphabet.
find the name.
A, B,
Yeah. Start with an A.
C,
I'll
D,
start at the end. Z,
Z,
Y,
D, E,
X.
F.
You're gonna. I'm so
W?
embarrassed.
Is someone that we know very well? Is it
Yeah, well, it. Oh,
Michael Cunningham?
no.
Larry
Well, I do. I love Mike
Chris-
Cunningham.
Kristen
I love Mike Cunningham. I love Kristen
Is it
Paiva.
male or female? This is a fun game that everyone gets to
Yeah.
join in.
No, well, you won't guess it. You won't guess it
Okay.
because I couldn't
Dave
believe it
Fennoy.
myself when I found out. I share. I'm grateful to share titles with Dave Fennoy.
There we go.
You have to stop, otherwise it'll crawl back up. Wait a minute.
Michael
Taika Waititi.
Scott.
Taika Waititi. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
All right. You talking about name dropping?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And-
for real.
I mean, I didn't meet him or anything like that. I did this neat thing for the release of Xbox Series X, where it's not Sniper. Oh wow, I'm just having so many senior moments. At any rate,
Taika Waititi.
it was the director of it. But I only found out afterward,
Oh.
after it was released. So, in the realm of Kevin Bacon, 700 Degrees of Separation, I know that he has heard my voice as the Galaxy Whale.
All right.
My one
So
line.
we're and on that game we're 2 degrees away from Taika Waititi. Cool.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So-
All right.
That's cool, but it's unique and kind of weird things that we find ourselves walking into without often realizing what it is. And we get 1 line, we get 5 lines, we get whatever it is. And there, it's kind of trite to say there is no small job, but the fact of the matter is we don't always know what the job is.
Or where it
And
leads.
Yeah.
where it leads, whether it's one thing, we're never ever doing an audition. We're introducing ourselves to a room full of people.
Yeah. Well,
At
and like
any
you said
given
before,
time.
you've got clients that you've did when they were just starting out, you know, indie
Mhm.
devs, and now you've got relationship with them, and you're doing continuing to do stuff with them. So it's all got to start somewhere, right? It's all
Yeah,
gotta start somewhere.
absolutely. Two of them specifically. Yeah, it's just no three. Anyway, I love indie devs, and it's so cool to start in a foundational way with people in being part of a passion. And we take the passion for what we do, and we have the opportunity to be part of teams that are following their passion, and they don't know where it's going to take them. Boy, I could never have known prior to this what goes into bringing a game to market. And it's just so much blood, sweat, tears, and to to be even a small part of creating that experience is just an overwhelming up, because I was a gamer before kids, and now I'm still gamer adjacent. And I just love everything about it.
And where do you think
So
it's going to take you next? Or where do you hope?
Yeah.
anywhere, this how it sounds so bumper stickerish. Really, I'm open to whatever the universe has in store. And it's just an implicit trust in knowing that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I haven't come this far for something else to transpire. I have also skills in the industry that are VO adjacent. And so when something is slower than the other, they sort of switch tracks, and more peopling I get to do, the better. And the more we leave ourselves open to stuff, I'm sure I have goals, but I don't put demands on the universe as to how those things are going to come to fruition. So I have desires that maybe interchangeably with goals. Food and shelter is up there. And
Please
you know,
let me eat today.
Yeah.
yeah. Food, shelter, shoes, and not expensive shoes, just, shoes for the kids.
Things to cover your feet. Sure.
Things to cover my feet. And just hold on for the ride. It has been a wild one. And it's this past year actually has been kind of a fever dream, if you will, in the surreal sense, where like waves of nightmare will sort of come up, but before they can crest, they just get slammed by a tsunami of awesome. And this community has everything to do with that. So, the industry and the people that support it and champion and just keep pushing through, you guys literally are the thread in my seams. So whatever's next, let's fucking go.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, using your vernacular there, Jen, you've peopled well with us today.
Well, thank
and we
you.
we appreciate that. And now,
What happens now?
we get to play around. But we're going to do something a little bit different this time. Because, see, when Jenn was having her technical difficulties, Mitch and I went ahead and already wrote a ChatGPT.
We did zero
that script.
We wrote.
We didn't write
2
it. We just,
sentences.
and then it did the rest as it does. But before we came back on, Jenn said, "You know what? Let's do it cold." So guess what? We're not going to pause as we normally do. We're just going to start reading right now.
Oh boy!
A different take on Scrooge.
Shall we?
We shall, Scrooge.
Shall away.
Bah, humbug. Oh, my back and my soul is financially solvent.
Did someone say back hurts, Ebuchadnezzar? I sensed a misalignment in your spine and your morals.
Ah, great. A ghost with a doctorate from a strip mall.
Well, doctorate of vibes. Now inhale, exhale, and regret your life choices on 3, 1, 2. Oh, okay.
Don't you dare twist me like that, you rapscallion with
Hi!
ugly socks.
Sorry, I'm late. I got tangled in my own yarn beard and emotional trauma.
What the purple hell are you supposed to be?
I'm a snowman, but also a tax audit. Somehow, my head is a walnut and my body is glue regret.
Ebenezer. I remember calling you Ebuchadnezzar, but I remember now that your name is Ebenezer, and I observe
Good thing
the
you got that right
consequences
now.
of cheap hot glue and zero planning.
Why, so that ornament's staring at me.
Oh, sorry. My googly eye fell off in 1997. I've been judging silently ever since.
Your posture mirrors your spirit, collapsed, clenched, hoarding tension like unpaid invoices.
I simply prefer efficiency. Closer to the ground this way.
Well, I was made out of macaroni that absorbed soup memories. No one prefers efficiency.
Let go, Scrooge, forgive, stretch, accept the free pen with my logo on it.
Why do you both smell like cinnamon and despair?
Well, because children, they really tried their best.
And
with
because
me.
healing, it hurts. Now,
Oh my gosh, I feel lighter.
Well, hey, that's growth. Or the glue failing again.
Oh, perhaps Christmas isn't about money. Perhaps it's about...
alignment.
And loving things that are lumpy, crooked, and technically flammable.
Then I shall kick Christmas awkwardly, generously, and slightly off-center.
My work here is built.
My work here is falling apart.
Mary?
Christmas.
Oh, there goes my other eye.
Okay. What happened there?
Wow.
This
Going
is
cold. It was perfect.
Yeah, going cold. So in case you couldn't tell, because we didn't give it an opening, that was obviously Scrooge, played by Jenn Henry herself, talking to the ghost of Christmas chiropractic.
That was me.
And that happened because of autocorrect, and Mitch just ran with it. And the ghost of poorly homemade Christmas ornaments.
That was my favorite.
That was me.
Mike Pelletier character to date. I have no idea what was going on, but you leaned in so hard.
That was some of the best badly written stuff.
That's why we do it.
That was fun. And tax audit.
I know. I don't know why ChatGPT thinks taxes are funny. It seems like more often than not, there's some kind of joke about taxes.
But see that's the beauty of it too, is taking stuff that makes no sense whatsoever and giving it a reason. It had a why.
Your yarn.
My head is a walnut, by the way. My body is glue regret.
Yeah,
I love that line.
That was perfect. And nobody ever will know what was improv and what was not.
That's one of my favorite parts, actually, of doing these is like, nobody knows.
Yeah. Did we come up with that, or did the computer come up with that?
Oh, that was fun.
All right. That was fun. That was a
my
great
favorite
way to end everything up.
Cold read. I'm going to be honest.
Well, we've done a couple of them before.
But this was my favorite one, Michael. I'm sorry.
This was my favorite one. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. We won't often do cold reads because sometimes, honestly, it spits out something stupid at first that we have to rewrite. But this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this with you, Jen.
Go with the stupid every single time.
Most of the time we do.
That's the beauty. I mean, and that's when you tell yourself that there isn't a wrong and you just feel something. That's what's going to be right. Not to oversimplify what we do. Everybody wants to feel something. That's all. So
that's where we'll end it.
Yeah. Just feel something.
And this concludes our broadcast with
Jenn Henry.
We almost got it right.
Almost.